Check, check. 1, 2. All right, we are live. Let's head back. As usual, gonna check on the audio for a few seconds before we get started. And while I'm checking on the audio, we will go ahead and get a few things set up. We'll jump into Infinite Flight. Turn my brightness up real quick. The sun's up now, so shouldn't have any more issues with that. See where everybody's flying today. Yeah, I can't even get on the expert server anymore. Alright, what's going on, guys? We'll wait a few seconds for a few more of you guys to join, but I want to say welcome back to another Blue Games Infinite Flight daily stream. We stream daily during the weekdays, and I stream some other times too. Just have to subscribe to find out. What's going on, Laser Gamer? What's going on, the Lebrat's Files? Good to see you guys here as usual. If you guys want to talk back to me, you have to be on the Discord server. I am talking in the streaming channel right now in case you will not be able to hear yourself on the stream, but I'll be able to hear you through the Discord chat. Probably jump out of So I hope you guys are doing good. How's everybody doing? Good morning from US. It is a little before 8 Central Time, US Central Time. We will be doing a flight, but I'm also going to be talking about global. I just finished listening to the Flightcast audio stream about talking with Laura and the developers of Infinite Flight about global. So I'm all updated there. So I just want to go over that with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, before we even jump into the plane, let's just get straight to it. So. If you're wondering, Global is still not out. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. The Global has not released yet. My app is not in the app stores. It's not released yet. As of right now, of me recording this video, Global is not released, and there is also no date has been announced. Basically, whenever the beta testers have no more bugs to report, that's probably when it's going to be sent to the app store. What's going on, Danish Gamer? So let's go back and let's start with what we know. If it allows me to. That's not where I want to go, actually. Let's go here. So this is my first time I've ever actually made a video about global. I've been kind of staying away from it, but just because I just finished watching / listening to the podcast, the most recent update, I thought I'd make since I'm already doing a live stream about Infinite Flight, I might as well talk about it a little bit. So what's going on, Swag Boy? Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome aboard. So real quick, as you know already, all confirmed features in the global update. I'm not going to list all of them, but this is on the Infinite Flight community website. Let's see what they have saying here. Let's see, ability to search airports and fixes. That's something I've always wanted, whenever I'm trying to plan my route and I'm looking for a real life fix or waypoint, I can never find them, but you'll be able to search them. ATC fuel emergency message, cross region flights, dynamic times and time cycles, which is gonna be really dope. In-flight confirmation message, that would be great too. Engines on and off, that'll be amazing. Floating point bug fix, I have no idea what that means. Fuel burn, which I know a lot of people are really excited about. Fuel dump, global map, obviously. Jet stream, high altitude winds. LNAV, I'm excited about LNAV, so that I'll be able to actually walk away from my phone maybe for a second to allow the aircraft to, fly itself. That's what, if you don't know what LNAV means, that means longitudinal, basically, your plane is going to fly the route that you have created in infinite flight. All right, so we have low power mode, moon and sky. Moon and sky is actually something new that Laura had been holding from us. She hadn't told us that there was going to be an actual moon at night. That's going to change how night flight is. There's going to actually be a moon up there at night. There's going to be stars, like, and a legit moon and stars. So it's actually going to show up where it's supposed to be. And that's pretty freaking amazing. And so is the sun. The sun's going to show where it's supposed to be. So I assume when you're flying up in, if you think about up near Alaska area by Juneau, like over there, the sun at certain times of the year doesn't actually go all the way up. It only goes up a little bit. So it's almost like you only get a sunrise and a sunset, but you never actually see a noon because the sky doesn't actually rise all the way. You can see a new aircraft rendering engine, which I'm excited about. One of the things that they said in the podcast was that when basically with the new rendering of the aircraft in the sky and everything like that, and the atmosphere effects, that even on low settings, it's going to look better than high settings on the current build. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, yeah, new atmosphere, new scenic camera angle, which we already kind of seen that with a lot of the posts that's been going on. New wing camera view, new connection icon. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure we'll like it. Removed dimmed cockpit windscreens. Oh, I'm so glad about that. If you ever noticed, in the Cessna 208 and a lot of the general aviation planes, a lot of the prop planes, whenever you get in there, I don't know why they even had this. Like, for some reason, it's dim. Like the not the windshield, but the cockpit window in front of you is like kind of dimmed down, and it's really annoying to me because I want to be able to see. Separate global servers. Okay, cool. Short final mode fix. Start positions rework. Stars at night. I've already mentioned that. Terrain overhaul. Tuning out of frequency. I've mentioned that in some of my flights already. Updated fog rendering, which would be pretty cool. Updated map with gates. So it just means that they're going to have more accurate or updated gates for the airports. iPad Pro 12.9 and 10.5 screen and button optimization. Samsung scaling issue. There's going to be a few new liveries for a few of the aircraft. We're not going to go through all these question and answers, but what I want to do next is go and take a look at, a lot of us has already seen this. All right, a lot of us have already seen this. I'm only going through stuff that everybody already knows. This is information that's already available online even before this podcast release, but these in the solid orange areas are areas where there's going to be very high. Let me make sure that I'm reading this right. So right here, the question is, what areas will include the high-res 15M satellite imagery? And so basically the orange areas, which is solid orange. So like all of the U.S., some of Canada and Alaska is going to be high-res. All this Middle East section, Europe, parts of Russia, the whole freaking continent of Australia, and then the striped areas. I can't remember what that means. I'm trying to see if it says it on here. I remember seeing it. Let's go ahead and click source real quick. Here we go. Because this post was very, very, very helpful. Let's see. All right, so we have significantly increased HD satellite imagery, 15M resolution coverage. The following picture shows the coverage we announced initially, solid field, the orange is what they initially, people initially knew was going to be covered, relative to what will actually be available, solid field and stripe regions. So the solid field with stripe regions are the regions that not everyone knew that were coming out, but we will have all this area, which is amazing. I mean, if you look at the areas that are not on the list, you can kind of get bummed if you live in any of these areas. But if you look at what you do get, like, this is a huge amount. This is like hours and hours and hours of scenery you could fly in. I mean, think about the possibilities flying in like a GA aircraft, which is something I completely plan on doing. So let's go back to that real quick. I like this image better because it's not skewed. Actually, now it is skewed. I don't know why. But anyway, so yeah, these are the areas that will be featured in the global release, the initial one anyways. I'm going to take a look at the comments in a second. But yeah, so it says Mexico, Canada, all these regions. We've already saw that. And it says, so your question is, what about these? What about the other areas? So what about the other areas? Very low quality at the moment. 500 megapixel, looks very blurry, but the topography elevations is accurate between -60 latitude to +60 latitude, and the rest will be flat. And we'll still have airports to explore. So apparently the way it sounds is that you'll be able to fly the whole globe still. So all this South, America or Brazil, all that area down there, you'll still be able to fly there. It just won't be the high-res imagery that you see in Mexico, that you see in Europe, in Spain, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So there'll still be airports there. You'll still be able to fly there, but you just won't be able to. The scenery just won't be as great there for now. But I'm pretty sure they're still updating those as they go. So that is that post. I'm gonna go back to my notes real quick, see what I want to talk about. That's not the right one. Let's see. Yeah, so basically what they were talking about, and if you want to listen to the podcast yourself, there is a link in the description of this video right now to listen to the crap, I actually put the wrong link in there. Hold on. I just realized I put the wrong link. I put the link to the stream and not the link to Infinite Flight Global. So let me quickly change that so you can guys have the right links. If you have not listened to the Flightcast podcast, I mean, don't just take my word for it. Go and listen to it yourself. It's about an hour long. I mean, you can just like let it play in the background, which is what I did while I was doing other things. And yeah, so it's updated now. So if you guys refresh the stream, you should be able to see that in the description. I have now the correct podcast link. So the information that I'm telling you about is from what I heard there. And this is not me just making up information. I'm not going to try to make any speculation. But like I said in the beginning, if you just joined us, Global is not released yet, and there is no confirmed date. But what I want to say was just kind of talk about what they did talk about. So let's talk about the subscription. So basically, they're going to be changing up the whole way that the subscriptions work. And from what I understand, and I'm going to try to speak slowly about this because I don't want to give any false information. I'm just trying to relay the information that I heard myself. But basically, they're trying to change the subscription structure. So right now, Infinite Flight has two ways that you can get subscription. There is the monthly subscription, and then there is the yearly subscription. And so there's Live and there's Live Plus. Right now, I just upgraded to Live Plus, which what Live Plus gives me is it gives me all the regions and it gives me all the aircraft that I can use. If you only buy the Live, the monthly subscription, you only get the aircraft that come with the app and the regions that come with the app. Outside of that, you have to buy additional regions and additional aircraft, which usually costs around $4.99 each. Now, if you think about it, it's definitely a little more expensive if you try to do it that route. But hey, not everyone can spend $50 on buying all the content at once. So now the new system, from what Laura explained in the podcast, is that there will now, actually it wasn't, I don't think it was Laura who said it, but now there'll still be multiple levels of subscription, but if you get the monthly, you still get all the content. So when you buy a monthly subscription, you get global, you get, and the prices are not confirmed, so you guys know, but you get, on the monthly subscription, you'll get the new scenery, the global scenery, you'll get you'll still have the region, oh, I don't know, is it the regions? I think you still get the regions as is, and you get all the aircraft. And the same for if you get Live Plus, you get basically the same thing in Live Plus as you get in the monthly. I think the only difference is probably going to be in price, like which one can you afford, so that way no one's really going to be limited to where they can fly based on the subscription they have with Live. But yeah, there's no prices confirmed. And like I said, I really want you guys to go back and listen to the podcast, because I don't want you to only take my word for it, because it could be I could stumble on my words and I could miss something. I could say something wrong, and I really don't want to do that, because I know how important this is to everybody. So what else I was going to say was cross region flight. So let's go ahead and load up into somewhere. I'll probably go to Ontario. We'll start in the Southern California region. We'll go to Ontario. and we'll just do a flight, and just, we'll keep talking as we fly and get set up. Where is Ontario? Let's start at gate 101. We'll be in a training service, so if any of you guys would like to join me in this flight, you're more than welcome to. We'll be in the sunrise. Probably fly with the 777 again. Matter of fact, let's get Infinite Passenger started up too, so we can log this flight. And guys in the chat, please be nice. No crazy words. Be nice to each other. This stream is all about positivity, so don't bring any of that negative stuff in here or you will get kicked. All right, so just loading up this. We'll turn off the safety recording for now so we don't have that talking in the background for this flight. We'll load up 282 passengers. We'll be flying in the Boeing 777-300ER. And we'll load up at Ontario on the training server. And yesterday I had 3 freaking violations. I did a flight. It was after the stream I did yesterday. And I was doing a flight just for fun with this Dre. And I hit one wrong button. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I hit one wrong button for I think it was my vertical speed. And I hadn't had my phone calibrated in a while. And so as soon as I hit the vertical speed button on accident, the plane just completely dived. And I was, I think, descending at the moment in below 10,000 feet. I had everything under control, but once the plane dove on me, I got speeding, I got like 2 violations all in one, and I lost my grade 3, I guess you could say license, and so I got downgraded. So now I have to wait 7 days to get promoted back up to grade 3 so that I can fly expert server, which really freaking sucks. I was so pissed. But let's go ahead and see, where should we fly today? Start off in Ontario and probably fly to San Diego again. Actually, I did that yesterday. Let's not fly to San Diego. Let's fly there's really no weather. Okay, there was 250. Yeah, we'll fly to San Clemente. Let's do that. And see what the weather looks like in Ontario. No weather at the moment. No weather information. Oh, no wind information, but the visibility is at 8 statute miles, scattered at 1,000, scattered also at 1,800. Dew points 14, 12 Celsius. Altitude 2997. I mean, altimeter 2997. So I guess we'll take 26 right. Do that, so I'll go ahead and create my flight plan real quick. So I mean, just every time I get into Infinite Flight, I just think about how different it's going to be when global releases. Like it's going to be like a whole new app, guys. I mean, there's probably going to be it might be a little different when creating your flight plan, because now you're able to search waypoints. So if you're trying to base your flight plan off of a real life flight plan, maybe you created in SkyVector or something, now you're going to be able to search those exact waypoints. And the nav data, that's something that's important to me. All these waypoints will be updated when we get to that release with the new nav data, so they'll be accurate, at least until it updates again. And it's just gonna be crazy. So I'm excited about it. I know everybody's excited about it. We're all tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting. There's been so much speculation. Like, I don't want to see another screenshot of global, because I want to experience it for myself. To get this also cleared up, I am not, if you're new to my channel, I am not a beta tester. I'm not on the inside. I only have information that has been released to the public. All the information that I have is information that you can find on your own. The podcast was good. It was pretty informative. I think the main things that everybody wanted to know were, when does it come out? When is it going to be released, and how much does it cost? That's like the 2 biggest questions everybody has. But that's still information that was still yet to be released. They did not confirm those things in the podcast. So if you're listening to the podcast just to know those 2 things, you're not going to hear it. There's a lot of other really good information in there that's very just good to know, but you're not going to get those 2 questions answered, sadly. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and talk to, I think there's Unicom, so we're gonna go ahead and push back. And once we get in the air, we'll do some more global talk.
We'll make straight in for runway 26 right.
Go ahead and calibrate. Well, I will check my weight and balance because I got us in trouble last time I flew the 777 on the stream. Alright, so we have 300 passengers. We're in the green, so everything looks good. So again, it's just as I fly, I keep thinking about next time I go into that screen when global comes out that, you know, weight and balance is actually going to be a real thing. Like, I'm actually going to have fuel burn. I'm actually going to have to plan my flight knowing how much gas I need to load up with to make it to my destination airport. You know, like, is there going to be a new system where they help you find out how much gas you need to get to where you want to go, or are we going to need to use an additional app or something to calculate our fuel and things like that? Like, I'm interested because I know that they've said a lot about global, and we know there's going to be fuel burn, but, you know, there's a lot of information that they haven't talked about. Like, okay, how do we calculate fuel burn? Is there going to be a feature available for us to calculate it within the app, or are we going to have to do it ourselves, or we have to guess? You know, what happens when we run out of fuel? Is the engine's going to shut off? You know, are we going to have to, you know, just have to declare emergency? It has been confirmed an emergency command for ATC, so that's one thing for sure. But other than that, you know, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of, like, a lot of us, we just think of the you know, just the surface stuff. Like, okay, cool, it's fuel burn. Okay, cool, there's a global flight. Okay, cool, there's all these things, but we don't think about what's it gonna take to have those things. Like, what's it gonna change about the app itself when adding these new features? You know, like, you know, night flight. You know, is the lighting gonna be different on the ground when we're flying at night? Is there gonna be city lights, which I've actually confirmed in the podcast there will not be city lights on the ground. So I don't know how the ground will look. There will be a moon and stars. It will be a little bit more ambient light to be able to see a little bit better at night, so it won't look so crappy as it does right now. But, you know, yeah, but also I just saw a comment there. This is not global. I'm not flying in global right now, just so you guys know. This is the same infinite flight that is released to everyone. This is not global. I'm flying in the same one. We're on the training server, taking off out of Ontario. So let's go ahead and announce that we're going to be taxiing to, I think we said 26, what was it, 26 right? Oh yeah, 26 right.
Ontario,
we'll go ahead and start our taxi.
Blue 116, taxiing to runway 26 right.
So it's just, man, like, I know all of us are just like, our heart is just beating fast. Like, come on, come on, come on, come on, global. Like, literally every day when I turn on my phone in the morning, first thing I do is check my app store, because there's always some apps updating. I always see a little bubble saying, oh, you got like 6 app updates. Like this morning I woke up, I was like, oh, I have 6 app updates. And I knew the podcast was coming up last night, and I was like, I don't know what it says. I don't know if, you know, if it's some super important information I need to know about. And so I check my app updates, and obviously there's no infinite flight update, but every day I'm checking for an infinite flight update, because, and I'm also hoping that I'm in town. Like, I'm hoping that I have time to do a flight when it comes. One other thing about infinite flight, something we already knew, but when it comes to the global, not just regions, but the global scenery and things like that, it's not going to be a download. So like right now, you can download, as the way I think, I'm not sure if this is how it works right now, but you're not going to be like downloading, you know, the whole globe. Is it right? Don't you turn right? I need to turn left. You're not going to be downloading the whole globe onto your phone, so you're not going to have 100 gigs of space on your phone and able to, you know, play global. It's actually going to be streamed from online as you fly, so you're going to need some sort of internet connection, whether it's cellular or Wi-Fi. I definitely recommend you use Wi-Fi. But so you're going to need to have some kind of stable connection when flying on global, because as you fly to different areas, it's going to be constantly downloading that area information, you know, as you're flying from area to area. So as we fly out of Ontario right now we have all the, you know, California region information already downloaded, but if we were to fly to San Francisco, as we get closer to San Francisco, it's going to be loading scenery for San Francisco region as we get there. And that's something that's good. I'm kind of glad they did it that way. I think it also makes it possible for people who don't have space on their phone to be able to fly global. So that's really good. And also there's going to be, they mentioned cross-region flights. So this is something that's very interesting to me. So think about, let's see. Let's think about, so there's the, what's the region? Is it the Amsterdam region, Amsterdam and Paris region. So if you think about it, you look on the map, they're right next to each other. They actually touch, like their borders touch. So if you do not decide to buy whatever the there's going to be some type of subscription to actually getting the global, but if you do not buy whatever, you know, want to buy into global itself, but you just want to keep flying in the regions that you have, all the regions that you already own are going to be honored. So if, for example, I own California region, if global were to release and I don't want to spend the money to update to global, or I don't have the money at the time to update the global, the game will still change. Like as soon as you update your app, all this scenery around us will be updated. Like it's going to be the new high-res scenery that comes with global. The only difference is that you will not be able to fly outside of the Southern California region. All right, so all the scenery, all the textures will be updated, the atmosphere, all that stuff will be updated out the box. Like when the update comes out, all that stuff is going to be updated. What's going on, iKitty? I see you on the right wing. But you just will still be restricted to the regions that you own. So, but if you're flying in a region like Amsterdam that's touching the Paris region, if you fly, you will be able to fly from, I'm going to stop for him, you will be able to fly from Paris to Amsterdam because those two regions touch. All right, guys? So, which is really cool. I think that's really cool. I'm glad they didn't like restrict everyone. Be like, hey, did you just back taxi down 26 right? That's really funny. We're gonna announce takeoff on runway 26 right.
Ontario
is he gonna sit there? We'll go ahead and hold short right here. But I think it's really cool as they'll allow you, even without updating to the global flight subscription, that you'll be able to fly from the regions that you already own. You'll still have all the content you already own. You'll still be able to fly there. All those regions will be updated with their new textures, their new sceneries, which is so cool. So when global comes out, if you don't like the price, but you're okay with just flying in Southern California, because Southern California is very beautiful in general, you can just stay flying in Southern California. You can still limit yourself to flying in that area. Go ahead and turn our strobes and landing lights on, and enjoy the global features. You just won't be able to fly from like you won't be able to fly from LA to Hawaii, you know what I mean? Because that's a different story. Those are not touching. Those regions are not touching. So, and I think that's so cool. And so I'm very glad that they did that. I'm glad they're not making you rebuy the areas that you already own just because they updated the textures, which, you know, I really like that a lot. Nice, nice. We're gonna announce we're taking off again, departing. I don't know, straight out.
Ontario Unicum, Blue 116 is taking off runway 26 right.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this baby off the ground. We're rolling, 91% in 1. Keep that baby on the center line. We don't have any wind, so nothing to worry about. Gonna calibrate to make sure that's all good.
Crossing runway 26 right.
We'll rotate here. Angle this baby up about 15 degrees. Right there works. Gear up, positive climb. Hit the heading mode. Oh God, oh God, oh God! Don't do that. Don't drop. Don't drop. Okay, thank you, thank you. Climbing about 210. That works. I can dig it.
Ontario Unicum, Southwest
go down to about 2,500 out of a climb. We'll climb straight out. Head for heading of 257. Let's take a look outside real quick and enjoy the view. Beautiful 777 leaving Ontario, California.
Ontario Unicum, November 310 uniform Papa is 14 nautical.
But thank you guys, everybody who has joined us. Big shout out to everyone who's joined us so far. Welcome aboard to all the new people, all the loyal people who are always here. Also, I want to thank you guys for always being here. I'm gonna do my shout outs more towards the end of the stream. Once we get up here, once we get above 10,000, I want to focus on this climb. Like I said, I got a couple violations yesterday because I wasn't freaking paying attention and I hit the wrong button. And so I am now grade 2 again. I've been demoted, but so I'm gonna focus on this climb. Once we get up to our cruising altitude of about 12,000 feet, we'll keep it there. We'll talk more about global, but I am very excited about it. And like I said, guys, the link is in the description for the Flightcast audio podcast with Laura and the other developers of Infinite Flight talking about global. And again, there is no date. If you just joined us, there is no global release date, and there is no pricing. They have not released either of those things. All we know is if you have a live subscription already, you will get, I think you will get some kind of discount or something. You'll get a better price if you have the highest subscription. And also, I do know that if you own certain regions, you will still own those regions. You will still own any content that you already own, and that content will be updated with the new textures when those textures are released. Good morning, Skyhawk Pro Gaming. Good morning. Alright, so we're making our left turn here in about 30 seconds.
Southwest 737 is on final. Runway 26 right.
But I cannot wait till it comes out. I really can't. I mean, believe me, I will be flying somewhere. I'm probably doing some general aviation stuff to enjoy the scenery, you know, at a more closer view. Also, one thing I'm wondering is, I'm wondering how HD this scenery is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of the images online that they posted on Instagram and on Twitter and on social media. You see a lot of images from very high altitude of them flying at cruising altitude at like 25, 30,000 feet in the air, where it looks, you know, it's gonna look amazing. Anything looks amazing from that high. But I'm wondering how it's gonna look from like 5,000 feet. How's it gonna look from 10,000 feet? How's it gonna look from lower altitudes? Alright, we got about 12 minutes to our next waypoint, and we'll be up at 12,000 pretty soon. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these flaps. Go down to 5. We'll slowly make our way down to 0.
007 is taking off runway 26 right, remaining in the pattern.
Probably see Los Angeles. We fly. Let me see. Let's look at our flight plan again. Yeah, we'll be flying right over Los Angeles at our cruising altitude. We'll be cruising at. We want to go very high. We can go to like 12, maybe even 15,000. You know what? Let's go to 15,000. Let's do that. So, all right, now let's go ahead and we're above 10,000, so we can go ahead and speed up. But not gonna go too fast. Probably only gonna go about 285. Like I said, we're cruising. We're taking our time today, just discussing this new podcast that just released. Since we're above 10,000, go ahead and turn off those landing lights. And so yeah, so it is 15 o'clock in Germany. iKitty says he's at Mach 2. What's going on, iKitty? What's going on, Giel, Goldser, Master Plane, Job Claren, iKitty, Detroit Maniac. I think I said Giel already. Die Spa website, Dragon Gaming, welcome aboard. Danish Gamers, Stripping Chicken, the Bratz Files. Our usual people, I think who else? I'm missing somebody up here. Laser Gamer, the Bratz Files, I think I already said Swag Boy, welcome aboard everybody. Thank y'all for joining us. Like I said, I do daily streams. Around 12:30 Zulu. Every day I do a stream during the weekdays. But let's talk about some more about global. So let's see, let me take a real quick look at the note real quick with stars and moons, day cycles. There will be no new planes. They have said that there will not be no new planes released with global. Maybe later on, you know, after the release of global, they'll release some planes. I mean, I know we saw some stuff about some of the newer planes that they're working on, but those have not been confirmed to release with the global update as of now. But so I mean, I'm not disappointed about that at all, honestly. I mean, I personally just updated to my Live Plus account, so I mean, all these planes are brand new. Like the 777, this plane is brand new to me because this is only like my 3rd flight with it. So I'm not upset that there's new planes. I'm very happy with the planes that they have, and I think that the new planes will feel like new planes with the new rendering. Like when you see your favorite planes with the new rendering engine and everything like that, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're gonna re-fall in love with the 777. You're gonna fall in love again with the 787. Whatever plane that you enjoy flying, you're gonna probably fall in love with it again. What's going on with Welling 424? Because of the new rendering and how they look. So I'm not disappointed about there not being any new planes being released with this update. I just want the global. I mean, global is a huge update in itself. They surprised us with the stars and moon. I'm really excited about the day and night cycle. Like I'm excited about doing flights, in the morning, like at sunrise, like being able to do a flight where you see the sunrise and then you fly until the sun rises up, especially those long flights. I'm excited about doing flights where you take off in the evening, you land at night. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be so fun, so amazing. So I'm not upset about with all the stuff that's coming with global. It just gives you more to look forward to. Like after global comes out and after you do your flights, you're going to want Infinite Flight to continue growing. You're going to want them to continue doing updates. So they already have plans for, Infinite Flight 2.0 or 2.02 or whatever, so they're going to continue making changes and things as Infinite Flight grows. And I'm really interested also to see how it changes ATC. How is that going to, what changes are going to be made to ATC with a lot more coverage area, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to see a lot more people controlling at center, because center has a greater coverage area. So go ahead and contact tower, even though we're not flying there. We're going to be like, hey bro, we're what's up? I don't even know what to say. I just request a transition.
Los Angeles Tower.
Because we're flying over there in space. So yeah, let's see what else do I have in my notes that I want to talk about. One bummer is to me personally. Alright, so once this transition above 5,000, we're already doing. So we'll just acknowledge that. They're taking out the animated water. So if you didn't know there was animated water, then you need to fly over some water right now, because it's about to be gone. But they're taking out the animated water. There will no longer be the animated water because now it's going to be basically the whole planet is going to be like Google Earth. Except for some areas where there's like less high-res stuff. I think I need to turn. Do we need to turn? Okay, we got some time. So they're taking out the global, they're taking out the water, because now it's going to be photo imagery of water, which makes sense to me. I'm a little bummed about it, because that's one thing that I really like about this version of Infinite Flight, is being able to fly over the water and see the reflections of the sun and things like that. But in the new update, that won't be there anymore. But in the plus side, when you fly to places like the Caribbean, like right now, I actually haven't flown to the Caribbean yet, but when you're flying to the Caribbean, the water doesn't look like this. Like right now, we see this dark navy blue color of water, which it may be it's kind of accurate for like this region of the United States. But when you get to Caribbean and coastal places where there's beaches, the water is so clear and shallow in areas that it's beautiful teal, like beautiful different shades of blue, and you can't see that right now with the animated. And it's really hard to get water to different colors of animated water. And so until they can figure that out, which maybe a year or two, I assume, right now the water is just it's going to be photo scenery of water, which is also going to look very good from the air. So we'll see once that comes out, if that ever becomes a problem. But that is one thing that was actually a surprise to me.
Stand by. Alpha Papa Tango 412. Line up and wait, runway 25 left. Up and wait, runway 25 left. Alpha Papa Tango 412. Los Angeles Tower, Air France 420. Inbound on the ILS. Runway 06 left.
What's going on, Ryvax? And oh, you're the F-22. Pretty cool, man. Yeah, I saw you fly by us a couple times. Windsor too. Actually, I thought that was iKitty. I don't know which other. Are you another F-22 somewhere else? Got our escorts today in case anybody wants to attack us for any bad information on global.
Ready for takeoff at runway 07.
I say we're cruising at 15,000. Left Ontario. Just flew over LAX airspace. We're gonna go ahead and request a frequency change because we're not flying there.
Number 2.
and heading to San Clemente Island,
653 Victor Romeo.
which is actually a military base, but hey, whatever.
Foxtrot Golf Kilo Delta Heavy. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 25
See, did I have
left.
anything else I
Alpha
want to talk
Papa
about?
Tango 412.
I said all scenery will update, scenery streaming, cross-region flight, region new subscriptions, takeout. Yeah, so I think I went over a lot of the stuff that I took notes on
Los
about
Angeles
the
Tower,
podcast.
November 8 for Juliet Foxtrot. Ready for takeoff at runway 07 right. Remaining in the pattern.
But like I said, you have to listen to the podcast for yourself. It's the link is in the description below. Whether you're watching this live or watching the video.
Los Angeles Tower, November 368 Uniform Mike. Ready for
but it wasn't a bad. It was my first time actually ever listening to that podcast. I didn't even know it existed until I found out they were gonna be talking about global. To be completely honest with you, but yeah. All right, let's make a left turn. Not sure what the heading is.
Departing straight out.
It's 132.
Air Force 714 Super. Runway 25 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff. Make left traffic. Romeo Sierra 1. Enter left base runway 25 right. Number 2. Traffic to follow is on.
And yeah, if you see, it's I see some guys in the chat, saying some stuff. Do your own research, guys. Don't just take people's word for it, like in the chat or even mine. You know what I'm saying? Because people like to get attention by saying, "Oh, Global's gonna release on this day," but it's not gonna release on this day. Like I said, there is no date confirmed. I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna know when Global's coming out until they see it in their app store too. That's what I think. I think we're not going to know. I don't think we're ever going to see a date. I think that we're just going to see an update and we're going to be like, oh my god, Global's released, and then it's just going to blast everywhere that Global's released all of a sudden. And that's what I think. I think they're going to keep it a secret up until that moment. But yeah, no date or pricing has been released to anyone. Not even the developers or beta testers, no. So don't go and bug the developers or the beta testers. Be like, when's it coming out? Because they don't know either.
November 727 Victor Mike. November 368 Uniform Mike.
Got Captain Wombaba on our left wing right here.
Immediate takeoff. Make left traffic. Los Angeles Tower. November 891 Sierra Tango is 22 nautical.
And obviously it's not releasing today, because if it was releasing today, it'd already be. I'd be flying it right now. Let's talk about a few things that will not be in Global. Some things that people are kind of wanting, but we know for sure is not going to be in Global. Let's go ahead and change our next waypoint to that next waypoint, because we're going to miss this one. We overshot Doyle big time. We'll fly straight to Catalina Island, which is going to be a heading of 122 Sierra X-Ray Charlie. And let's see, where should we descend? We're at 15,000. It would probably be a good idea to be at, let's see, what are these guys at over here? He's at 25,000, 2,500 actually. He's at 9, he's probably too high. He's at 3,000. So I want to be probably about 5,000. I could just look up the charts myself. That would help. Kilo November Uniform Charlie is the arrival airport. We're landing at runway 24 GPS, and we actually want to be at we want to be at 3,000 here at Jura, which means we want to be about 5,000 maybe back here at Berea. So we need to be at 10,000 at our next waypoint. So let's go ahead and start descending now to 10,000 feet, and that F-22 is having so much fun ahead of us. We'll get our altitude, not altitude, we'll get our speed slowed down to below 250 knots so that we don't get a speed penalty, or speed violation I should say, and we'll start descending. So we have throttle is at 0, as you can see, and spoilers are out. like so. And we can already see Catalina Island ahead of us. So let's talk about a few questions a lot of people ask. Will Global be free? No, it will not be free. How much will Global cost? Nobody knows yet. Will Global be included with Live Plus subscription? It's not so much known. I know that you'll get some other type of deal if you already own a Live Plus subscription, but we don't really. Nothing is set yet. Haven't really released information. Like I said, there's no date. You will be able to shut down your engines at the end of a flight. You'll probably be able to shut your engines off in the middle of a flight if you would like to do some type of emergency simulation where you want to like maybe try to glide down to the an airport. You could just shut your engine off. I assume you'd be able to do that. We got this guy over here, American 910 Heavy, and a Cessna way off the map with no flight plan. I don't know if he's a beta tester. I doubt he is. He is grade 3, but I don't know why you would want to fly a Cessna that small from here to there, but you never know. They do all kind of stuff. The beta tester's job is to try to break infinite flight. So they're going to be doing a lot of weird, crazy stuff, long flights, all kind of stuff, trying to get the simulator to crash so that whenever we fly, we don't get crashes and stuff. So, see, what other questions that people will be asking? Will there be engine failures? I kind of doubt it. I know that you'll be able to shut your engines off and you can kind of pretend like you had an engine failure, but I really doubt there's gonna be engine failures. The forum actually says there's a 99.99% chance there will not be engine failures. Also, you will be another question is, can I start my engines up individually? So a lot of times when you do a startup, you don't just start both engines at the same time. You start like engine 1 or engine 2 first, however you would like to do it. And you will for sure be able to do that. Like I said, there will be no aircraft. They said it in the podcast. There will be no aircraft added, added to at the time that Global releases. So that includes the DC-10. Wonder, like, can you just let your plane fly like for like days? And the answer to that question is actually no, because now that there's fuel burn, you have to realistically calculate how far you can make it on that fuel. So you're gonna have, like, if you would like to do a flight around the world, depending on what aircraft you're in, you will not be, you have to stop somewhere. All right, we're at 10,000 feet now, and once we get to Catalina Island, we'll go ahead and we'll drop down to 5,000. But I'll wait here for now. But yeah, so it's gonna be accurate fuel burn. So that's gonna be really fun to simulate. It's gonna be tough, but fun at the same time. I think we're gonna see a lot of people running out of gas, running out of fuel, because they didn't calculate it right, or they just forgot to put enough gas in. I don't know if you'll be able to. One question I have that I don't know the answer to is that I don't know if you'll be able to add fuel mid-flight, and I kind of doubt it. I think you may have to be on the ground in order to add fuel to your plane. So like right now, how like I can change my weight and balance mid-flight, like I don't know if that's gonna still be possible. So let's go ahead and turn our altitude down to 5,000, and we'll slow down to 235. All right. Confirm that we're under 250 knots as we're under 10K, and we'll start descending. We have about 2 minutes before we get to Go Key, which is right to the east of us. But we have a little while before we need to get to 5,000 anyways. And like I said, we need to be at 3,000 at Juror, which is still a ways away. So we'll see how that does for us. 1,500 feet per minute should be good enough. So some more questions. Oh, this is new to me actually. So I'm reading this actually from the forum. It says, the question is, will I have to communicate with ATC during my whole flight? And they're saying that the center frequency will be removed in global version 1. So no, only during departure and arrival will you be talking to ATC, which is a big bummer to me. That's something that I actually wanted, was to be able to talk to a center controller throughout my flight. That's a big thing that I really enjoyed in X-Plane flying with VATSIM, was being able to talk to a controller and him kind of vector you and give you directions as you know, on your flight, you know, at your cruising altitude. And wow, we are extremely close. Let's take a screenshot for the Discord channel. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. But yeah, I didn't know that until right now. I just read that. Will Global be in solo mode too? Yes, it will. Another thing, speaking of that, one thing that they mentioned was when you like, you know, for right now, when you buy the app, you only get certain regions and the free aircraft that come with the app when you buy the app initially. So how's that going to work with Global is what they're saying, what they said in the podcast and when I watched it or listened to it, was that you will basically get the same things you got before, except it'll be with the new textures. So if you are new to Infinite Flight, have not even bought it yet, and you buy a brand new copy of Infinite Flight for your phone or tablet, you will get what is available right now as far as aircraft and regions, except you'll get it with the updated texture. So it just look a lot better. But you will not get, Global will not be included with the initial buy-in of Infinite Flight. So I assume it's going to be another like in-app purchase. You know what I mean? Like Global is going to be an in-app purchase for you to make once you download the Infinite Flight app. We're almost already to 5,000. We're doing pretty good. Let's see if I'm pretty sure we're too far to contact him yet. Yeah. So like for example, right here you see San Diego Center. Like that's not going to be a thing anymore apparently in Global. Which, like I said, it's a bummer to me. Center. I felt like Center was going to play a huge role in Global because of it being so spread out. Because everybody's going to be so spread out, you know, I thought Global was going to include Center, so that's a bummer. Somebody asked on the forum, will there be sloped runways? So like, will there be like will the elevation on one side of the runway be different than the other side? And they said no, so it'll be all flat runways. One question I just saw was, will there be some type of time-lapse feature where like if it's an 8-hour flight from Sydney to LAX, but you don't want to spend 8 hours to do it, is there some way to speed up time? And there will not be a way to speed up time. If you don't want to do an 8-hour flight, then don't do an 8-hour flight. Stick to flights that you have time to do, or that you're actually able to do. Another question is what will happen to regions? So, and like I said, I'm reading these questions and answers from the Global post on the community forum. So if you want to look at them yourself, that's on the Infinite Flight community page. But what he's saying is what's going to happen to regions when Global comes out, which is something I already kind of talked about earlier, but I'm just going to kind of touch on it again, just kind of quoting what they're saying. And it says, for those without a Global subscription, they will have all features of Global except the whole globe. The regions will be new terrain and the same areas, but potentially slightly larger than currently. They will require a Wi-Fi or cellular connection to stream the terrain. Confirmed. That is a confirmed feature. All right, let's make a right turn to 232 as we kind of overshot. We're gonna go ahead and change our altitude to 3,000 now, which is where we want to be at Juror, which is not very far away at all. So we're gonna go down about 1,000 feet per minute. Also gonna slow our speed down to about 220. Also gonna go ahead and turn the landing lights on. Not gonna put any spoilers in. Not gonna put any flaps in just yet. We're gonna go ahead and arm our spoilers though, to get that out of the way. Wow, we gotta turn a lot more. Yeah, because we overshot that big time. Landing at runway 24, GPS approach in San Clemente. Let's take a look at the weather one last time as we're on our approach. There is ATC. See, we have winds 250 at 8 knots. Visibility is very good. Few clouds at 1,600 feet. 17 with the dew point. Dew point at 17. Celsius 12, altimeter 29 or slight precipitation possibly in the last, something like that. So yeah, looks good. Shouldn't have any issues coming in here. I'm probably going to use approach mode today. We had some very fun approaches yesterday in yesterday's live stream, so if you want to go back and check that out, it is on my channel.
Santa Monica Unicum, November 8 Lima Lima is.
What's going on, Geo Aviation? Welcome, man. Wow, I missed a lot of your comments. I was looking at a different screen. Nice. Skyhawk Pro Gaming said he is ground at San Clemente, so I look forward to flying in there. Whoever's tower is going to be like, what's up with these like 4 aircraft all next to each other? We need to figure out some separation, guys. So if some of you can start slowing down behind me so we can get some good separation coming in. Let's go ahead and say we can contact tower though. Let them know that we are in landing. We'll hit send.
November 368 uniform Mike is
we are now 15 miles out. Let's go ahead and slow our speed down to 200 knots. And we'll give it 5 notches of flap, or 5 degrees of flaps, I should say.
Inbound for landing. Category 900. Request frequency change. JetBlue 134. Line up and wait runway
Gubby Gubby, this is not global.
Line up and wait runway 24. JetBlue 134. November 636 Victor Charlie. Request frequency change. November 636 Victor Charlie. Stand by.
I'm trying to read the comments right now. We're way too high. Oh, we just passed Jura though. We are not too high. It says 3,000 at Jura, so we're going to to 1,500 now. So down to 190.
Emirates 286 is 12 nautical miles to the east at 2,600 feet.
The glide slope says we're too high, but I'm looking at the charts, and the chart said I need to be at 3,000 at Jura. So we need to be at 1,700 at Pompeii, which is up here. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to 1,500. I do have visual now of the runway. I go 15 degrees in the flaps. So down to 179 or something. We're 10 miles out. I'll go ahead and put the gear down.
Inbound for landing. Requesting runway 24. Emirates 286. Stand by. San Clemente Tower, November 3.
And yes, we are way too high at the moment. Like I said, I'm actually not going by my glide slope, but I was going by the charts, and the chart said to be at 3,000 at Jura, but the glide slope was saying that I was too high, so I don't know what's up with that. It's not accurate, I guess. Geo Aviation, I can play X-Plane 10. Well, actually, no, I can't because I uninstalled it when I uninstalled X-Plane 10 when I got X-Plane 11, so I can't really play X-Plane 10. And I haven't played X-Plane 11 in a while because my computer is just so freaking slow. Alright, let's try to put some more flaps in. Down to 20. We'll calibrate that.
Please contact San Clemente Tower on 126.7.
And we will hold this. We have 7 knots headwind ahead of us.
Is 8 nautical miles to the east at 4,400 feet. Inbound for landing. Requesting runway
Tower hasn't really said anything to us.
November 4,
So I'm just going to report my position like, yo, I'm on final. You haven't mentioned me ever, full stop.
Line up and wait runway 24. JetBlue 134. San Clemente Tower, Coriner 747 Heavy is 6 nautical miles to the east at 4,500 feet. Inbound for landing. Requesting runway 24.
Alright, here comes the glide slope. I'm gonna see if we can attach to it. Oh, don't stall me. Do not stall me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put that nose back down. Yeah, that's what I thought. You saw what he did? You saw what he did. Yeah, that was ridiculous. And now we're gonna get descending too fast because this thing just don't. Man, my God, I knew stupid stuff was gonna happen. My gosh, it's so annoying. Alright, I'm gonna go full flaps now. We'll slow it down to 150. 155 or something like that.
November 368 uniform Mike. Inbound on the ILS. Runway 24.
That's so...
116.
Oh my god, that's
Roger.
so annoying. I hate when it does that.
116. Roger.
Why do you want me to
San
contact
Clemente
approach when I'm on
Tower,
final?
November 36
You're talking to the wrong
uniform
person.
Mike is 3 nautical miles to the east at 700 feet. Inbound for landing. San Clemente Tower.
Man, I miss expert server already.
008 heavy. Ready for takeoff at runway 24.
Let's turn this off.
Remaining in the pattern. November 36 uniform Mike is on final runway 24.
Here we come.
San Clemente Tower. November 425 November Echo. Inbound on the ILS.
Why do you
Runway
keep telling me to
24.
contact approach?
San Clemente Tower. November 368 uniform Mike is 2 nautical miles to the east at 500
Alright,
feet.
took a couple
Inbound
screenshots
for
and we're
landing.
coming down.
116.
I'm gonna leave
You're
it
in
there.
active airspace. Please contact
Make
San
sure we're
Clemente
calibrated before we
approach
touch
on
down.
127.05.
And there it is. Autopilot disengaged. Full reversers. We have plenty of runway. We'll let her roll to the other end of the runway.
San Clemente Tower. Test flight 1 is 9 nautical
Oh,
miles
no,
to
I
the
didn't
east
realize
at
the brakes were wrong.
11,600 feet. Inbound for landing.
You know what it was? It was the
San
actual
Clemente
approach
Tower,
frequency trying to contact me.
November
And now the
Echo
tower
is
telling me to
14
contact
nautical miles to
them.
the
So let's
east
take a look
at
behind us.
6,000 feet. Inbound
We have an
for landing.
A380 looks like
Requesting
behind us
runway 24.
landing. He
Test flight 1.
looks pretty good. I think
Stand
he's going to have
by.
plenty of runway to
San
slow down
Clemente
before running
Tower,
us over.
November
We just need to
224
get all the way to the
Charlie
other end of the runway
Inbound
so
on
we
the
can
ILS.
get
Runway
off of the
24.
runway.
November 425 November Echo. Stand by. Stand by. November
Why approach? Because I wanted to.
November Echo. San Clemente Tower. LL008 Heavy. Ready for takeoff at runway 24. Remaining in the pattern. San Clemente Tower. JetBlue 134. Ready for takeoff at runway 24.
I still don't
Remaining in the
understand though.
pattern. San Clemente Tower.
Oh my god, I did not
JetBlue
use thrust. This, oh my god,
Ready
infinite
for
passenger
takeoff
pisses
at
me off
runway
sometimes.
24. Remaining in the pattern. JetBlue 134. Runway 24.
Can I stop?
For immediate
Okay, we're
takeoff.
just gonna keep going. I
Make
didn't.
traffic.
I waited too late to hit the brakes. Alright, spoilers up.
Hold
Don't
position.
need those anymore.
Holding position. LL008
Skill
heavy.
games.
Cleared
I
for takeoff.
now do. I
Runway
now have all the
24.
aircraft.
JetBlue
As of like
134.
yesterday,
Executing missed approach. Air France 811
or a couple
Super.
days ago, I think
San
actually.
Clemente Tower. Alpha Papa Tango 412 is 3 nautical miles.
This is the thing about San Clemente. If you don't use all the runway,
Inbound for landing.
you have to still taxi
San
like down the
Clemente
rest of the
Tower.
runway just to get to
November
a
425 November
exit.
Echo
So
is
like there's
10
only these
nautical
last
miles
two
to the east at
at the
6,000
very other
feet.
side of the runway that
Inbound
you
for
can use
landing.
to get off.
Air France 811 Super. Stand by. Alpha Papa Tango 412. Go around. Make right
But
traffic
man, yeah, that
runway
approach mode
24.
is
Air France
like a lot of times it
811
works
Super.
perfectly, and then
Is on
sometimes it just
final
doesn't.
runway
Like I
24.
literally hit the
Full
button
San Clemente Tower.
right
November
at
425 November
right
Echo
when
is
it
9
where I was
nautical
supposed to
miles
hit it,
east at 6,000
and it
feet.
still nosed up
Inbound
big
for
time.
landing.
It could have been my
Requesting
speed,
runway
you know.
24. Going around.
I feel like it's
Alpha
every time
Papa
it's
Tango
something else.
412.
Every
San
time I feel like a
Clemente
different
Tower.
problem.
LL008 Heavy. Ready for takeoff at runway 24. Remaining in the pattern. San Clemente Tower. Test flight 1 is 5 nautical miles to the east at 2,400
And I didn't even mean to use the
Inbound for
brakes
landing.
when we landed.
Air France 811
Whenever you're landing with
Super.
approach mode,
Roger.
it like automatically puts your brakes on, which is weird because a real airplane would never automatically engage the regular brakes
San Clemente Tower.
when you touch down. So I don't know exactly why it does that.
Ready for takeoff at runway 24.
But whenever you
Remaining in
land
the pattern.
with autopilot on, it just turns your brakes on automatically. I mean, all I want is the spoilers to automatically deploy. I'm cool with that, but I don't want my brakes to turn on. So I have to remember to turn off the brakes when I touch down. Alright, let's contact ground. Request access to parking. Not that there's probably going to be any parking over there.
Test flight 1 is 2 nautical miles to the east at 800 feet. Inbound for landing. Blue 116.
So
You're on an active
that part,
airport.
the flight was
Please
good.
contact
Oh, I
San
didn't. I
Clemente
forgot to put my
on
flaps up.
119.55.
The flight was good. Oh my god, look at this person.
Runway 24.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Blue 116. You're on an active
He's
airport.
going way too
Please
fast.
contact San
Look at that
Clemente
float.
ground on 119.55.
Yeah,
San
and he's running out of
Clemente
runway now.
Blue 116. Request taxi to
Is he gonna
parking.
make it? He's gonna
Blue
force it.
116.
He's gonna
Taxi
force
to
it. He's gonna go straight into the
Blue
water.
116.
Yep, he's
Give
dead.
way to aircraft on your right. Singapore 187 Super. Taxi to runway
See you next time,
24.
GL. Thank you for doing this,
Contact tower
man.
when ready. Taxiing to runway 24. Singapore
Make a right turn
187
here.
Super. Give way to aircraft. Blue 116.
Yeah, now ground is offline. Well, that was a good flight, guys. That was a very good flight. That was fun. Except for the end part. Like, I literally had no issues at all until, you know, we're like 2 minutes before we touched down. Once I hit approach, we got, you know, it nosed up, and then it nosed down violently, and then we got descending too fast. And then what else did we get after that? I don't even know where to park here. I don't understand how parking. I'm just gonna park right here. I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm just gonna park right here. Alright, I should have turned these off earlier, but strobes off, lane lights off, seatbelt signs off. You are now welcome to leave. And, you know, yeah, why not? How about we do a second flight? We'll do a short one. I want to switch to the Q400. I flew that yesterday, and I want to fly that again. So let's get some suggestions, guys, on where we should fly to.
Cleared for immediate takeoff.
We'll hit in flight. Where we should fly to or from, or what region. So go ahead and give me some suggestions in the chat, and then we'll see what we can do about that. Oh, we actually got a 75. Usually with all the looks, I got descending too fast, I got reverse thrust below 60 knots. Usually with just descending too fast, I would get a 50 out of 100, and I actually got a 75 out of 100. So I'm saving that. I'll take that. I'm actually happy that I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. I thought we were gonna get a 0. Wow, everybody's saying New York. Why New York? We got New York or London. All right, let's get votes on New York or London. I've actually never flown in New York. How much money do we have? So I kind of want to buy a Q. How much is a Q400? Q400 is 18 mil. Let's see, 14 million is the cheapest so far. 15 million, 12 million. Yeah, so the Q400 is not very expensive. It only has 78 passengers. I'm also thinking about getting a 737-800, which is about 76 million. Oh, 40 million. So we can actually afford either of those. I could probably get both. Which app are you talking about? Skill Games, November Lima. All right, well, I see a bunch of New Yorks, so we're gonna go to New York. Let's go to New York. I've actually never flown to New York in a flight, so that'll be fun. I might have to download it. Yep, I do. All right, so that's gonna download. Won't take long, and it's done. Cool. I love how fast it is. Too late. Already going to New York. Should have said something. Let's see. Let's do. Okay. Let's see. Where can we fly in New York? What airports? We have Newark. We have JFK. I know there's LaGuardia. What else is there? KTEB. The app that I was in was Infinite Passenger. It's it's an additional app that you can use and sync it with Infinite Flight. Kind of adds a little bit more realism to it. It's fun. Let me look at my map real quick. I want to see how far these places are from each other. I have a good friend of mine, Find Your Passion. He's actually starting a stream in a few minutes, so that's what that notification was. It's not Infinite Flight stream though, so if you're not into, I think it's a Forza 7. That's what I assume he's probably going to be streaming. So if you're into racing, definitely check him out. But if you're not, then you may not really want to watch. I don't know. Go check him out anyways. He's a really good friend of mine in real life, and we do a lot of streams together. You can find him on Twitch or YouTube under Find Your Passion. We just made some really dope shirts. I've been helping them work on some new shirts and stuff. So just give me a second, guys. I'm trying to search where we're flying to and from. I got New York Liberty as a suggestion, so I'm down for that. But I kind of want to see how far that is from LaGuardia. It's like really close. How far is it from JFK? It's also very close. So how about we spawn into Newark? Because like I said, I've never actually flown in the New York region. I'm a newbie when it comes to all these regions. I've been flying on just a few select regions before. I just updated my life subscription, so now I have all the regions, so I haven't flown everywhere. So we're gonna do Newark Liberty, and I personally want to fly the Q400, so that's what I'm gonna fly. We'll fly the Jazz Air Canada version because I know they fly there. Yeah, we'll do Jazz. And we'll do, because in New York, it's on the other side of the states, it is already 10 o'clock, so we'll do the noon setting, which just means the sun is up. And I don't have that plane, so we'll just do a free play. Turn on safety recording, leave on the boarding music, all that good stuff, hit start. It's all good, find your passion, man. You're streaming a whole different thing, so I ain't tripping. Lebrat's file says KMSV Kilo Mike Sierra Victor to Newark. So you know, I'm gonna load into Newark and I'll look at the map because I just can't see the map of where everything is right now. So once we get in here, we'll take a look at how far that is. Like I said, I want to do a shorter flight this time because I don't have a lot of time. I need to get some other stuff done today. Yeah, wow, that's right there. Yeah, that might be too short if I flew from Newark to LaGuardia, which I knew all three of those airports were right next to each other. So where is the one you were talking about? KMV whatever. Ooh, KISP is a good one too. There's KTEB. Oh, there's. Oh wait, did you say KSWF? Let me say KMSV. Where's KMSV? Please point me in the right direction. Because I have no idea where it is. See, this is another place where it'd be helpful to search for a waypoint. I'm pretty sure if you can search for waypoint, you can also search for an airport. I'm assuming it's one of the purple dots. Because you had me fly to a purple dot yesterday. I think what I'm gonna do instead is I would just take off here over here at KISP. Long Island, MacArthur. It said northwest of the map. North? Oh, way up there. I see it now. That might be a little bit longer than I want to do right now. It might be about the same, honestly, as what I'm about to do. So let's do. We're gonna take off from. Cause I want to fly into Newark. That'd be cool. Where'd it go? We'll take off. Where's the airport that I was looking at? Oh, KISP Kilo India Sierra Papa. We'll take off from there, and we'll fly to Newark, New Jersey. So from Rhode Island to New Jersey. So I'm gonna back out again so we can reload at that airport. And I already forgot where I just said. What did I say? KIMSP? Oh man, what the heck did I say? I'm like trying to. Okay, KISP. I had to rewatch my stream just to remember what I said. Alright, KISP. Which I think was probably right next to where we were. Yeah, there's Long Island, MacArthur. We'll start from gate A01. 801, I think is what that means. In a -8 for Jazz. Don't think we're gonna have any ATC out here, but it's okay. And we'll be flying to Newark, New Jersey. I really do like Newark, New Jersey's airport. This is the airport I've been to in real life. I have not been to Long Island, but I have been to. I've actually been to. I haven't been to LaGuardia, but I've been to JFK and I've been to Newark. I've actually been to both of those recently for connection flights. Wow, we're way over here, so we may have a long taxi to runway 24 if we just have to take that runway. Actually, I'll probably take 28. We'll take runway 28. Let's see, what the winds are at 230. Yeah, we'll take 28. All right, seatbelt signs on. Let's go ahead and make our flight plan. That should be plenty of runway for us too. It's a shorter runway, but this should be plenty. And I'm gonna kind of plot this out quickly in Sky Vector so it can give me an idea of a legit route to fly into Newark. It's probably gonna give us a standard terminal arrival also, which I don't mind flying. Something simple. Oh wow, it's so funny sometimes when you create a flight plan, like to generate one, it like really makes you go out of the way. But I think I realized why. It looks like it's making us go around the JFK airspace to get there, which actually makes a lot of sense. So let's see, wind at Newark. Yeah, we'll be landing at the 22s, 22 right, 22 left, 230 at 11 knots. Visibility is pretty good. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll be taking off to the west. We'll go ahead and connect us to this waypoint right here, the DPK, which is actually on the flight plan Sky Vector, which is pretty dope. And I'm kind of gonna create a version of what I see on my Sky Vector right now. You can't see it because it's on my computer, but we're gonna kind of not fly through JFK. We're gonna fly around it. So we're gonna fly from there up north of JFK and LGA. So go up over here somewhere. Oops, I didn't do what I wanted to do. Like so, and then I mean basically that's gonna be really like our only waypoint en route, and then we'll set ourselves up for the arrival right over KTEB, which I can't remember what the name of that airport yet. Teterboro. I think I've flown there before in X-plane. It's a smaller airport. So basically doing our approach right above it. So it's kind of like all these waypoints are right in the way. We'll go ahead and choose for 2 to right because that's the site where the terminals are. I don't even know, man. Let's just pick one. Just pick one. We'll pick NCIS. Just kidding. It says NICIS. And down to Tattle, I guess. And then Litby. And then whatever this is. And then the 2 right. Oh, wow. Wrong one. Let's delete that waypoint. That's the one we want. Newark, New Jersey. This is my first flight in the New York region in Infinite Flight. I've obviously flown here plenty of times in real life as a passenger and also in X-plane because I've flown almost everywhere in X-plane. All right, look at this beauty. Look at this beauty here. I had a lot of fun. We did a stream yesterday. We flew the Q400. You're gonna be seeing this plane a lot more because I really enjoyed flying it. So today we're gonna hope we get a better landing though. That's what the goal is. So let's go ahead. We don't have any ATC to worry about anywhere in New York. But if there's anyone watching right now who would like to be our ATC, that would be a great help. I didn't realize that I had my power to 35. Let's go ahead and push back and get started.
Flight attendants, arm doors for departure.
See, the runway we want to take off from is
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft.
Welcome aboard, and thanks for flying with us. We're committed to making your flight safe and comfortable. So before we depart, we'll be showing a brief safety presentation. This information can help you if there's an emergency, so it's important to pay close attention, even if you are a frequent flyer.
All carry-on items should now be stored securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. And all aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should be clear.
There we go.
Your mobile phones and other electronic devices should be turned off.
I feel like there's probably some more stuff in Global that they're not telling us. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
some items,
like for example,
may
you
not
know,
be used in flight at any time.
the stars
find a
and
list
moon
of
and stuff like
approved
that. That's a
electronic
new
devices
update.
in the
Like something we didn't know
information
about
section of Sky
Global.
Magazine.
We
If
knew
you're
there was
seated
gonna
at
be day
an
and night
emergency
transition,
exit,
but we didn't know
please
there was
review the
gonna be moon
responsibilities
and
for
stars.
emergency exit
So that's very
procedures on the back of the safety information
But
card, which
I
is in
feel
your
like
seat
there's
pocket.
more.
Are you
There's
okay
more
for inbound emergency
than that.
exit?
Like I
If
feel like
you're
there's more
unable
little
or
things
prefer not
that
to
we're
perform
gonna
this
really
function,
enjoy
just let us know, and we'd be happy to
that
find
they
you
still
another
haven't
seat.
said to anybody about.
As we leave
Yeah,
the
the beta
gate,
testers
make
are
sure your
holding
seatbelt is
back. You know,
fastened.
everybody's holding
To
back.
fasten, insert the metal tip into the
All right,
buckle
LeBrett's
and
Val,
adjust
see you
the
another
strap so
time,
it's
man.
low
Thank
and
you for
tight
joining
across
us
your
and thank you
lap.
for the suggestion.
To release the belt, just
Got
lift the top
Skyhawk
of the buckle
1967
or press
ahead
the
of
latch
us.
to release.
Are you
Please
gonna go?
remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened
Okay,
anytime the seatbelt sign is on. And even if the sign is off,
Alright, let's go ahead and set
you
our
should keep
flaps
your
up to
seatbelt
5.
fastened in case you
And we'll be
experience
going
unexpected
to an
rough air.
altitude of...
For everyone's
What is
safety,
12,000?
federal regulations
That's our
require
usual.
all passengers to comply with the posted placards
And this will
and
be our
lighted
last
signs
flight of
located throughout the cabin,
the
as
stream.
well as any crew member instructions.
So yeah,
I'm sorry. Smoking
it's actually down to the
is
end of
not
the runway. We
allowed
could go right
on
there,
any
but
flight, and federal law prohibits tampering with,
we're already on
disabling,
a
or
shorter runway,
destroying
so
a
I'll
restroom
make sure that
smoke
we have
detector.
plenty of space to take
There are
off.
6 exits
I'm still
on
kind of
this
new to
plane.
this
4
aircraft.
doors, 2 on
This is
each
only going to be
side,
what I
and
think
2
this is going to be
window
my
exits
4th
over the
flight.
wing. Each door
I don't
has
know what
a
happened to the other guy,
detachable
but he
slide
just like
for
disappeared.
flotation.
Oh, now he's there
Life
again.
rafts are located in ceiling compartments at the front and center of the plane. All exits are clearly marked with an exit
Let's
sign.
check our waiting balance
However,
very quickly.
if there is a loss
Yeah,
of power
that looks
and
good.
cabin visibility is reduced, white emergency lights near the floor will lead you to red lights.
And if you
indicating
watched my
exit.
stream yesterday, you saw
Please
how
take
that
a moment
ended.
to
I don't
find
want to
the
ruin the
exits
ending
closest
for
to
you
you.
guys.
And remember,
who
they might
haven't
be
seen
behind
it, but
you.
if
It's
you
unlikely,
if you
but
did
if
watch the
cabin
one
pressure
yesterday,
changes,
this is
the panels
I
above your
mentioned
seat will
about like
open,
practicing
revealing
and like
oxygen
getting
masks.
better
If
with the
this
plane.
happens,
Well, I
reach
haven't
up and pull a mask
practiced
toward
with
you
it
until the
since
tube
then.
is fully
So this is actually
extended.
my next.
Place the mask
This is
over
my
your nose and mouth.
I haven't
Lift the
flown it
elastic
since then.
strap
So
over
this
your
is
head and adjust
my
the mask
next
if
try.
necessary. Breathe normally
for
and note that
flying this thing
oxygen is
successfully from
flowing,
takeoff
so
to
don't worry
landing.
if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to
Actually, there's
adjust your
nobody
own
here,
mask
so
before
I'm just
helping
gonna
others.
take off.
A water evacuation
Runway
is
28,
also unlikely,
parting,
but just in case,
east
life
or
vests are
west?
located
West.
under your seat in the economy cabin. If you're seated in the first or business class cabin, the life
funny 'cause, like,
vests
you
are
can
either
barely
between
tell
your
our-
seat, under your seat, or in a compartment under your armrest.
Flaps are down.
To use, pull the tab to remove the vest from its container, and then open the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Fasten the 2 straps to the front of the vest, and then adjust
man.
the straps loosely around your waist. If your vest has only 1 strap, wrap it around your waist and attach it to the buckle in front. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom of the vest.
Why is
Or
there that
manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at
Alright, and
shoulder
here we
level.
go. We're going to go
You
ahead and
can
give it some
activate a
throttle.
light by pulling down on the tab in front. If your vest doesn't have a tab, the light...
And we're rolling on runway 28. And here it comes. I love how the plane just lifts itself off the ground. It lets you know that you have the perfect amount of flaps in. All right, now we have a positive climb. We're gonna go ahead and go heading, altitude, and gear up. Switch to tower view. Just enjoying the view right now. Alright, we're gonna fly heading of 282. Let's watch our airspeed. We're at 236. And yeah, so yesterday I had a few issues when I was flying, and it wasn't, I don't even remember what aircraft I was flying in, but I was just doing a flight for fun, and we had a issue with the autopilot. The autopilot decided, like I think I was trying to press one button. You know when you're like on your phone or iPad and you're playing Infinite Flight and you're trying to press one button or one option, and you ended up pressing the wrong one. So that's what happened. And I was below 10K. I was descending into LAX, and I was below 10,000 descending into LAX, and I accidentally hit the vertical speed mode. I had not calibrated my phone in a while, and it just took a huge dive, and I got like 2 violations because I was speeding, and it took me a while to get my speed back and get everything corrected. So I got 2 violations, and for grade 3, the limit is 1, and I already had 1 violation from speeding in this plane in yesterday's stream. And so when I got 2 more, of course I lost my grade 3. Now I'm grade 2 again, which is a huge bummer. I'm really upset about that. And so you can only have 1 violation per 7 days. So basically that means that I'm not gonna be able to get my grade 3 license back for another week. So I'll be flying a training server for now. Which, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Let's go ahead and let the flaps up. I never turned on my landing lights. I always forget to do that. So it is what it is. We're just gonna keep flying and just enjoy flying. Training, I mean, there's nothing wrong with training server. It's still fun. I just really enjoy flying on the expert server because it's just more respectful to me, you know. So anyways, we're taking off out of Long Island. We're going to be climbing up to 12,000 feet. We're almost there. We just got over 10,000 just now. I'm going to go ahead and speed her up. It's about 300. I think the max speed of this thing is about 310 or 320 or so. We're going to find out very shortly. Descending at about 4,000 feet per minute. Pretty fast, but I want to get up here as quickly as possible. I want to go ahead and do this flight. I don't want to take too long with this flight. Like I said, I got to go soon. So we're going to go to 12,000 and probably start descending again around when we get to the next waypoint. Maybe descend even earlier than that. Oh God, we're already speeding. Look at that, I got a speed violation again. Like, this is exactly what happens. All because of, wow, we have 14 knots of wind. We have all because of turbulence. Because I only set my speeds to 300 and, was it 301, I believe? And I think the max speed is actually it is 300. And so it went way above 300 because of the turbulence. And we have 14 knots of a headwind right now. So as you can see, our speed is jumping around. So we'll stick down here at 285 to be safe. We need to think about descending soon. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the charts on my computer for Newark to Liberty. So if you like to follow along, you can open that up too. I use skyvector.com. I believe we said we'll be landing at 22 right. There is the ILS localizer. I'll be looking at that chart. So we need to be at 3,000 at Agnes. Let's see where that is. I don't know if that's on here. Oh, there it is right there. So we need to be at 3,000 at this point. So that means we need to be at 5,000 at angle, which means we need to be about 8,000 when we get there. So it is already time for us to descend. We just got up here, we already descended, but it's a very short flight, like I said. All right, so speed back down so we don't get an overspeed. Don't need any more speeding violations. We got a warning. Warnings are okay, but I think if once you get a couple warnings, the next thing after that is going to be a violation, and I don't want any more. I have to be violation free for this next 7 days if I want to get my grade 3 privileges back. So down to 8,000. There are no spoilers on this aircraft except for the landing spoilers, so we have to get this thing slowed down manually. Gonna go ahead and see if we can. Yeah, nice. We can already contact Newark. Not that anybody's there. But go ahead and announce that we're inbound, landing on runway 22 right. We're making left traffic.
Newark Liberty Unicum. Blue 116 is 26 nautical miles to the east at 11,900
yes, we need to
feet.
expedite our descent.
We'll make left traffic for runway 22 right.
2,000 is fine. Keep her under 250 knots while we're under 10K. We're not there yet, but we're almost there, so we want to just be safe. I'm also going to slow the aircraft down a little bit to like 225. Because we have a long way to go to descend and not a lot of time. We only have a minute. We're descending at 2,000 feet a minute, which means we're going to make it about 2,000 feet from where we are right now, which is 8,000. So we'll get there perfect time. We have American Heavy behind us. Skyhawk 1967. I think that's Skyhawk Pro. And yeah, once I get on the ground, Skyhawk, I'll watch your landing, and we'll judge how you did. Yeah, it might be a little bumpy coming into Newark. Did we look at the? Let's see. Let's look at the weather here. 230, 11 knots, 10 statute miles, few at 3,000, few at 25,000. 2.18, 12 Celsius, altimeter 3044. Looks like it may be some slight participation or something. I think that's what SLP means. Alright, time to make a turn. 277. And we need to get down to 5,000. Oh god. Oh god, don't do that. And just so you know, guys, like I said, I have a good friend of mine. He's actually one of the community partners in the Discord channel, in my Discord channel. He is now actually streaming Forza 7 on Twitch, so you guys can, if you're interested in racing, it'd be a really fun stream to watch. I mean, matter of fact, I'll be watching it when I get done streaming myself while I'm getting some work done. But yeah, you can go back and check it out. That is in the Discord channel, and the Discord link is in the description. Right now, we're descending into Newark, New Jersey. This is an airport that I love. I actually love flying into Newark, New Jersey, more than I love flying into JFK. Reason is because you get a really cool view of New York City, of Manhattan, from Newark, New Jersey, when you're on descent into there. So you're not going to see that in Infinite Flight because there's no 3D buildings, but it's very beautiful. Just take my word for it. Alright, are we too high? No, we're good. Actually, we are, but we're still descending. We can take a look at our chart again. I think we're just a little bit above where we want to be. We want to be at, I said, 3,000 at Agnes. And we're coming down to 5 now. So let's go down to 3,000 feet. Slow our speed down to about 200. Our landing speed, I'm going to try about 140 today. Did I say 2,500? 3,500? I can't remember. Just missed our turn. So we're going to have to turn a little bit more. Yeah, I said 3,000. We're going to go ahead 2,500. We'll set it 2,500. That's our next altitude to remember at Verde. Yeah, we way overshot that, but we should be just fine. I think that is KTEB right there, Kilo Tango Echo Bravo, ahead of us. We'll be flying right over that, and right on the other side it should be Newark, New Jersey. I don't see it just yet. Yeah, see, I just barely see it. Just barely see it out there.
Lieutenants, please prepare for landing.
All right, make sure our landing lights are on. Let's go ahead and put some flaps in. So the flaps 2.5. We are 12 miles out. Making pretty good time. We do have some turbulence, so we'll have to watch out for that. I will be landing this by hand. There will not be any approach mode in this landing because this plane doesn't have it. That's one reason. So I want to calibrate, make sure we're all good there. Alright, we're approaching our... The glide slope's been coming down. We'll probably see it about 1,500 is where we need to be on the red bars. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's accurate. I'm looking at the... on the spoilers, I'm looking at the charts. It says we need to be at 1,500 when we get there. So I have visual now of the runway. We're going to be on the right one. On 22 right. Keep that in mind. We'll go ahead and gear down. And we'll put another notch of flaps, and we'll slow our speed down to about 175, 170-ish. Be careful not to stall it. I'm also going to calibrate one more time and take control of the plane, of the altitude. We're just to the left, so I'm going to wait for that to align, and then we'll make a slight bank to the left, just to get it centered. And wow, oh, you know what's happening? It's set to auto. Let's turn that off. Some advice, whenever, if you are using approach mode, do not leave it on auto. Make sure you choose the runway yourself, because when you're at parallel runways like this, it could choose the wrong one. And sometimes the runways are staggered. Let's go ahead and turn off heading. We have a slight crosswind, but the wind is about 10 knots ahead of us. We'll be expecting 11. As you can see, it's a little bumpy, and that's not me just moving, you know, the phone. It's actually bumpy. I'm going to be trying to land about 140 knots, so I'm probably going to go down 150 because we have a 10 knot headwind, which is going to slow us down to about 140 knots. We're still high, so we need to lose some altitude pretty quick. I'm going to try to do 15 notch flaps. I'm going to leave that 160. I had an issue before when landing that when I got too slow, the plane just wants to fall out of the sky. So it looks like we're actually landing on the thinner of runways. The other runways are a lot thicker, probably for bigger planes. Alright, let's go ahead and bank a little bit to the left. Speed is under control. Everything is looking pretty good so far. Not having too much issues. I mean, we're having up to about 16 knots of winds, 18 right there. The METAR did not call for any gusts, but I'm definitely feel like we're getting a little bit of gust. I'm gonna go full flaps. And we'll slow down to 155. The plane does not want us to put it down. We're still too high. We have a lot of runway to work with though, so let's not panic. Yeah, like the plane is like floating right now. Like we're barely losing any altitude. We may have to go around. Like as you can see, like my nose is pointed way down, but we're not actually losing any altitude that much. So if we don't make it, we may have to go around. I don't want to go around, but we may have to go around. It looks like we might have to go around. Let's see. We're still at 200 feet above the runway. Yeah, we're out. We're gonna have to go around. So we'll let the flaps up to 5, and we're gonna hit our heading mode. Put our speed up. Oh my God! Don't do that. Oh my God! It's stupid autopilot. Oh, you pissed me off. Stupid autopilot. Alright, let's speed up. 210. We're gonna fly runway heading. We'll go to about 3,000-ish. And for whatever reason, the vertical speed wants to go way up. So we have to go around. We'll announce that we're going around. Oops, wrong one. Let's see, we'll look at the chart real quick and find out what missed approach is. Runway heading, and then we have to make right traffic. Alright, we'll make right traffic. And we'll try it again. Dang it. Go-arounds are just so inconvenient. You just, I don't know, it's like, man, I want to be on the ground now, and I gotta go around again. Alright, so spoilers off, gear up. And we'll probably be behind American Heavy this time. So right now we're flying our crosswind leg, and we'll basically just fly a pattern back to the runway. That thing just did not want to go down. It did not want to descend. What could have happened is we may have just used too much flaps. I may try coming down with less flaps this time. Let's see if we can look off our right wing. Alright, so we're going to make a right turn. We're going to make a tight pattern and we'll do our right downwind now. Not exactly sure what the heading should be. Let's see. 04. Alright, so we'll do 40. As far as flaps, I'll just leave the flaps up to 5. I don't want to get too fast. We'll leave our speeds at about 200 knots. Leave the landing lights on. Technically could leave the spoilers at arms. We'll rearm those. There's the runway right there, and there's American Heavy. Let's see where he is, how far out he is. Yeah, he's on final, so he'll be on the ground before we even get to our base. What's going on, Sandra Ditton? Welcome back. Welcome aboard. Right now we are going around because mistakes were made. But later on I'm probably going to do some pattern work in the Q400 as practice. Because I really do like this plane. It flies very well. It looks good, flies good, everything. And so I just want to... What's up? Oh, I can hear my... Can you mute me? So I can hear myself. No, my bad. People, Skyhawk just joined the Discord chat and I could hear myself talking. It kind of threw me off. What was I even saying? Dang it. Dang. I don't know. Oh yeah, I was going to do some pattern work in the Q400 to do some practice for landings because so far my landings have not been so great at all in the Q400, but I know that I can. It's a new aircraft to me and it flies a little bit different than anything else I've been flying. So yeah. But it looks like Skyhawk is on final over there. I'm not going to be able to watch him this time because we're still in the air. But I assume it's going well. Unless he ends up going around, then we'll know mistakes were made. Let's go ahead and descend down to where do I want to be at? 1,500. Nice. Sounds like Skyhawk just got a touchdown. Dope. Smooth. It's gonna get slowed down a lot earlier this time. Go ahead and make our base turn here. About 12130. Just kind of guessing. As we descend down to 1,500 feet. Hey Skyhawk, you think you can get a photo of me on the way down? I meant to do that for you, but it didn't work out. Like the plane did just not want to descend. It just kept going. I was like, okay. Another thing about global that's gonna be interesting is go arounds. Like, cause people are gonna be, planning for fuel, and if you get a go around, then do you have enough fuel? Like, do you have enough reserve fuel to make it all the way? So that's something to think about. Yeah, that's true. That's true. What Skyhawk is saying is that you have your taxi, the fuel it takes to taxi, fuel it takes to go around, fuel to your what do you call it? the backup airport, basically the airport. What do you call that again? I forgot what you call it. But yeah, basically, whenever you file a flight plan, like if I'm going to fly to LAX, I would also file that in case I cannot fly to LAX, I'm going to fly to, you know, San Diego or Santa Monica or something like that. So you have to account for enough fuel, because you have to plan for the worst. So if, you know, yeah, you can make it to LAX if you've done the flight like a million times, it's fine, but you need to plan to fly to a backup airport. For example, yesterday I was flying with this Stray, and LAX was closed because it was so busy, and we ended up having to fly all the way to San Diego, and if fuel was a factor, we would probably not have made it. Alright, here we go. I'm on final again. Let's go ahead and get this thing relined up for our approach and slow it down back to like 160. Let's go a lot slower. Let's go 150. We'll go with flaps 5. We'll see how that works in the beginning. And I'm going to put my gear down. I do have visual of the airport. I'm going to calibrate. I'm going to turn off heading mode. You better not stall. I'm like, I didn't even touch the altitude button. I just hit heading and the nose went up. Like, what's up with you? I think it was because of the flaps or something. But we may have to land with flaps at 5, because right now it's already acting like it wants to land in this configuration. I'm gonna hit the altitude button and pray to God that yeah, it's true. I do have a lot of wind, so landing at flaps 5 would actually make sense. So I'm going to attempt landing at flaps 5, which is what we took off at. We took off at flaps 5, which was really good. I mean, we had no wind when we took off at flap 5, so. Alright, spoilers are armed, gear down, landing lights are on, flaps at the 5. Dope. Ground speed is at 142, even though we're at IAS 150. We're off to the left of the airport, and we're too high. So let's go ahead and start descending early, because last time we descended late, I guess. I'm not sure. And we just couldn't get this thing on the ground. So we're going to try to land at a speed of 150 knots. I mean 140 knots ground speed and 5 flaps. We may have to go to 15. So I feel like we're going a little fast, but we're okay. Just a little bit left. We need to. I'll correct that once we get over the fence. We're a little low now, but it is descending, so I think I like how this is feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and land just like this. Not going to make any changes.
100.
And this should put us right where we want to be.
40.
Just a little bit left of the center line.
20.
Give a little bit of right rudder. And turn off speed mode. Oh God, now it's floating.
20. 10.
And we're down. A little rough, but actually my first successful landing in the Q400, so I'm not gonna complain. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna hit the brakes so that we can exit here on the right. Get under 30 knots. Alright, and we made it. On our second attempt, survived. Floated it a little bit. I'm not sure why exactly we floated, but I'll figure it out. We were coming down at like a really good rate. It might have been just because I was trying to give it too much flare. I think I might have flared too early. That might be what happened. I turned off the speed once we got like pretty close to the ground, because right, it was trying to, you know, stay at 150 IAS, and when we got so close to the ground, I turned it off. And when I turned it off, that's when it actually happened. I had to quickly turn off the speed and then reduce the throttle to 0% and let it like basically drop, because it didn't want to drop. Like I think we were floating at like 50 feet or or something like that. Alright, so landing lights off. We'll taxi to get over there next to Skyhawk. American Heavy. I hope you did too. Earlier I was surprised I got a 75 because it said that I was descending too fast when my autopilot failed as usual. Is it like, how much harder is it in hard mode for infinite passenger like that? Yeah. I mean, I use medium mode for infinite passenger and it's hard enough. What's going on? Abdullah Ahmed and Commander Star Chaser, welcome. Thank you. It was an okay landing. In my books, I think it was just okay. I think I could do a lot better, but thanks for saying it's a nice landing. Appreciate that. Let's see if we can taxi a little bit faster. Alright, I haven't, this whole stream, I have not appreciated the cockpit of the Q400, so let's do that on the way to the gate. Oh man, I actually haven't seen, that has charts on it. I wonder what city that is. That is a, looks like an arrival chart. I'll turn right here. Man, those brakes stopped. I know, right? What is the mystery of the Pepsis? Like, literally the co-pilot and the pilot have a Pepsi on both sides. There's no, I'm pretty sure it's just because Pepsi probably sponsored something. I don't know. Because they would have to have permission to even put Pepsi in their plane, you know, so they have to have some type of deal with Pepsi. Like, in order to have that logo shown on their product, they have to, you know, get that cleared and stuff like that. So they got some kind of deal going on with Pepsi. I'm personally a Coke person, so yeah. I'm pretty sure there's somebody who's made a mod out there who replaced it with Coke or something. Maybe not on iPhone because you can't mod on iPhone, but. Alright, and welcome to Newark, New Jersey. Usually, off of our right wing over there, you'd be able to see the skyline of Manhattan, but because there's no 3D buildings in infinite flight, you can't. But let's just imagine that over there we can see, you know, New York downtown. Yeah, I bet that is. Probably the next huge update after global update will be either clouds, or actually clouds will probably be a small update. It'll probably be the buildings, probably buildings and lighting, like ground lighting. You know what I mean? Like besides the runway lighting, but like street lightings and stuff like that. That'd probably be. I don't see that happening for another year or two though, because they kept mentioning 2-year cycle, and whenever you hear that, like there's a lot of other games that I play that they release a new game every 2 years because it takes about that long to do what they do. So I predict that once global comes out, we won't see another major update for another 2 years. Like we'll see like small updates with like planes and maybe clouds. I don't know how big of an update clouds is going to be, but when they do clouds, you're gonna have storm systems, like all that kind of stuff. So that's a big change actually. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta sacrifice somewhere, you know. Because I mean, you think about X-Plane is a a PC game. They have so much more stuff that they can do in a PC than you can do on a mobile device right now. So it's not really fair to compare the two. So I usually don't compare the two. Oh my God, where am I? Where's my camera? It's not even here with us. It's like somewhere else. My free camera is like not even New Jersey. It's like somewhere. Okay, now it's here. I think. Is it? Okay, yeah, now it's here. Cool. But yeah, you can't really compare the two because they're just on two completely different platforms. But Infinite Flight, once this update comes out, is going to be in a category in its own. Right? There's no other game that can compare to it. Airline 2 already has 3D buildings and HD textures, but they don't have global. and they don't have multiplayer. So they still have a long way to go too. So I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna update that. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, on Airfly they have the 3D objects, and they also have working instruments, at least, which is pretty cool too. That's something that Infinite Flight will eventually have to add on to their, simulator. Also, is the working instruments, because, I mean, the 3D cockpits are cool. I definitely enjoy looking at the 3D cockpits, but being able to click around, or maybe not even just be able to click around, but be able to see your flight plan just show up in that middle screen will be just like a really dope add-on, So it's Infinite Flight has so much potential, which is really cool, and I think it's cool for all of us who are playing right now and stuff that we're able to be here. Like it feels like early in the process, even though this game's been out since 2012. But there's just so much more they can do, and with the advancement of technology, with like the new iPhone 10 and the new Android phones coming out and stuff, but they're gonna have so much more compatibility. Like, I mean, they're literally computers now, you know what I mean? So you're like gaming on mobile devices is gonna only grow from here because of how much the phones are updating and stuff like that. So. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everybody who's joined us. Shout out to everybody. Let's see if I can get my shout out to Skyhawk Pro Flight Gaming. Check out his channel. He's in the Discord channel with me right now, and he flew with me in this flight. Also shout out to Sandra Dittman. One thing about you, Sandra, is when you wanted me to fly Air Berlin and you wanted me to fly Lufthansa, and you weren't there for either of those streams, so shame on you. Commander Star Chaser, shout out to you. Abdullah. Who else we got? Lebrat's Files, Find Your Passion, Skill Games. Who else we got? GL Aviation. Gregorio. I'm sorry if I'm saying some of you guys' name wrong. Gubby Gubby. iKitty, Gabriel, Rayvax, Detroit Maniac, Job Clarion, Gozer, Master Plane. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. But if I am missing anybody, you can complain in the comments and I'll shout you out next time. But thank you, Dragon Gaming also. Thank you guys for watching again. I'll be back again tomorrow around 12:30 Zulu, and maybe even sooner, but you'd have to subscribe to know. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining. Remember, you have 3 choices. Either you give up, you give in, you give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. I'll catch y'all next time from New York, New Jersey. Such a dope view right here. It's flying out. No, I need to, I gotta work on some other stuff, so I probably won't be back on Infinite Flight until later. But yeah, I'm definitely down to do some practice flying in the Q400s. So, but I mean, yeah, just hit me up on Discord and we can line it up and figure out when we can do that, because I need to practice that, obviously.